So I thought I'd start off tonight with just intro to meditation, because meditation is the foundation of what we do here. As far as most of our spiritual practices incorporate some form of meditation, some way of becoming still and listening. You know, we believe that spirit is an indwelling presence, and so it's always available to us. We just have to quiet that mind that keeps us from hearing it. And that's what meditation's all about. The thing that I hear from every single time I teach anything about meditation is this one thing, and the people say they can't meditate because they can't make their mind be quiet. And as human beings, souls inhabiting this human body, we are endowed with a mind that likes to chatter. It chatters all the time. It's the way it's designed. It's part of our protection mechanisms. It's part of the ego that keeps us safe, keeps us the same. It doesn't like to change things, and so when it feels that things are starting to shift, it starts chattering. The Buddhists call it the monkey mind, and so if you can just visualize a troop of monkeys in the trees, that's what our minds are, just chattering from one to the other to the other. I actually just got a new puppy, and he makes the most interesting noises, and one of them, he sounds like a monkey chattering. And I thought, oh, there's my mind going. Anyway, like I said, our minds aren't meant to be quiet. And true meditation happens when we have those tiny, tiny pauses between the thoughts. That's when we're in the experience of meditation. And as we practice meditation, the intention is to expand those pauses, expand the gaps between the thoughts. And the funny thing about it is that we'll be meditating, and you notice the mind chattering, and it's going off in one direction or another. And we're going to teach you some techniques to bring you back to center. But it'll be going off, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait, I haven't had a thought for a while. But then that's a thought, and it takes you right back out of the true meditation that you were in. So it's very hard to not engage with the non-thought even in our minds. So it makes it a challenge sometimes for us to feel like we've actually had a meditation. One of the people I study said he said he would sit in meditation for 8 to 10 hours a day, but his true meditation might be 5 seconds. He might have had that 5-second gap, and maybe he has one every couple hours or every hour, and his goal was to get to a 10-second or a 15-second gap in the thoughts. And so, like I said, it is a practice, and there are so many ways of meditating, from being still to active movement, like our walking labyrinth is a meditation. Thich Nhat Hanh, the famous Buddhist monk, talks a lot about walking meditations and how our steps should be so purposeful that we kiss the earth with each step. And so it's about being slow and putting our attention on it, and that keeps us from having the chattering mind as much. So you may also hear the word mindfulness interchanged with meditation. Mindfulness is a type of meditation. Not all meditation is mindfulness, but pretty much all mindfulness is meditative. Mindfulness has 3 components to it. The first one is to be aware of what the thoughts are that are going on. The second part is clarity, like, oh, look at that. I'm starting to recognize the patterns of those thoughts. Why is that happening? And I get clearer about what's going on in my mind. And the third part is the most important one, and that's what the Buddhists call equanimity, which is non-reactiveness to the thoughts. It's okay to have the thought and notice the thought, but it's when we get caught up in the thought, we react to it, that takes us down that rabbit hole of, oftentimes catastrophizing the situation, making it worse than what it is because our thoughts have gone crazy, rampant through our heads. And so today we're going to do a couple of different ways of meditating. And I will be guiding you through parts of it, and parts of it there'll be longer pauses where we won't have any talking, just so you can experience that. The thing that we want to do in meditation is have some kind of something that anchors us, brings us back to center. So, for instance, the most easy one for me is my breath, because I always have it with me. I can always bring my awareness to my breath, and I can use my breath to take me back out of those thoughts, because the thoughts are going to run, and I'm going to realize that I'm running with the thoughts instead of focusing on my breath, and that's taken me out of the experience of meditation. I've actually got into this mental activity instead of a meditative activity. And so whenever I catch myself running with my thoughts, I bring my awareness back to my breathing. And you can do this in different ways. I like to bring it back to my torso, where I feel the breath in my torso, moving my torso. And so, as you breathe in and out, your abdomen naturally rises and falls. You have sometimes expansion in your chest, depending on how deep your breath is. You can also feel your breath coming into your nose right here, and sometimes you'll feel the little hairs on the upper lip move, or you can feel the temperature of the air as you breathe it in, and it moves the little hairs inside of your nose. So you can bring your awareness to that place too. But bringing yourself back to your breath over and over again will help you whenever that mind starts to wander. And it will. And like I said, the goal is to spend more time coming back to your meditative place, the anchor that you use, than you do running with the thoughts. And so as we practice, we expand the amount of time that we stay centered with our anchoring thing, whatever that is. Like I said, it can be all kinds of things. The breath, it can be this walking, it can be your steps. Some people use lights, like a candle. Other people have a mantra or a chant that they use for bringing them back to center. All different kinds of techniques, and more than I can even describe. I teach an 8-week class, and there's 38 different meditation techniques that I teach in that class for the 8-week period that we're doing that. So there are all kinds of ways of doing that, and just finding what really works for you. But like I said, for me, it's easy to start with my breath, and it's easy for everybody else because you've got your breath with you all the time. It's not like we had I forgot to bring my mala bracelet, or I don't have a candle to watch, or I can't get out and walk right now, but we always are breathing. So that's the benefit of that. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a simple meditation. I'm going to take you in and just have you become aware of your breath. In the Buddhist technique of doing this, again, being mindful about it, they often will repeat in their minds. They're not saying it out loud, but as they breathe in, they actually say in their mind, breathing in. And then as they breathe out, breathing out. And sometimes that purposefulness of saying those words as you're doing the action help you get to a more meditative state. So let's try that for a moment or two. We're going to breathe in, and as we're breathing in, just say in your mind, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, breathing out. You may want to make your breath become a little more rhythmic than normally. You don't want to have to force it to be something different, but longer breaths and deeper breaths are a little bit more soothing to our bodies, because oftentimes we're in a state where we're not really focusing on our breath, and we're just we're either breathing too fast or not enough or deep enough. We as humans spend a lot of time shallow breathing. We don't really get to our diaphragm as much as we spend it up here in our chest. So breathing in, taking a little bit longer to breathe in, pausing, and then breathing out with a little bit longer out breath can help you get to that place of meditation. So let's just do this together. Joe, you have some, there it goes. Some nice little tones going on. All right, and so I'll just say the words out loud for a moment here just to get you into the rhythm of it, and then you just start doing it for yourself, breathing in and breathing out. So breathing in, Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And I just continue that pattern. So just take one more deep inhalation and then let it out fully. And then allow your breath to go back to its normal pace as you open your eyes. So how was that experience for you? That's good.
Yeah, you were talking about Thich Nhat Hanh, and I got was given a book for Christmas, his medical book,
Mm-hmm.
I breathe in, I feel me breathing in,
Mm-hmm.
just forget it because I put my mantra in.
Yeah, I breathe in. I know that I am breathing in.
I breathe in, I know that I'm breathing in, that's right.
Right, and I breathe out. I know that I am breathing out. That was his mantra as he walked. Did going back to your breath help with the chattering mind at all? Help you get back to that? Good. For me, this taking a moment to just sit and breathe especially if I'm in a stressful situation or anything like that, can really bring me right back to center and kind of makes things seem less urgent or less problematic when I take that moment and breathe and come back to my breath and just allow myself to become centered in that moment. Like I said, the breath is something we take with us all the time. There are lots and lots of different ways of doing breathing meditation. And you can find all kinds of guided ones. Our practitioners have beautiful meditations on the website. Some of them are breathing meditations, and others are, there's all kinds of meditations on there. But on our YouTube channel, we have lots of meditations. What do we do those on? What do we do those, Joe? Saturdays? What days do the meditations broadcast?
Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and Saturday. No, Tuesdays at 7 a.m., Saturdays at 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you. He broadcasts videos of meditations from our practitioners on those days. And then, of course, you can always go on anytime and find the archived videos that are on there, too.
Right, you just go to
Yeah.
CSL.GLV.
Yes. Or
CSLGLV.media.
CSLGLV/media, I think. YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on, yeah.
And then you can just scroll down and you get the whole
Mm-hmm.
meditations and play through.
So they're beautiful ones on there. So the next meditation that I like to do for an introduction to meditation is actually getting ourselves into our bodies. Because sometimes our mind is elsewhere and we're not even at all present with our bodies. Have you ever when I get stressed, I forget about my body and I wind up falling or tripping or doing something like that because I'm not connected with my body. And so I like to find lots of ways to bring my awareness into my body so that I know that's where I'm at. Grounding ourselves, centering ourselves in our body can be really powerful. And sometimes when we're meditating, our bodies distract us. You ever get a twitch or an itch or a pain in there as you are meditating because, the body's also kind of doing, or maybe it's the mind making the body do it, I don't know, but it's a way of distracting us from our meditative state. And so taking a few moments and giving our attention to our bodies and finding those places that might be wanting us to have more focus on them at that moment and acknowledging that, breathing into it, relaxing it, can get us more prepared for a better meditation. And so that's one of the first things that I like to do is to center ourselves in our bodies. And so I'm going to take us through that. This is a little bit longer than the breathing. It'll probably take us 5 to 7 minutes. I don't ever really time it. I just kind of go with what's calling for me to do at the moment. But we begin by getting ourselves centered in our chairs. Whatever way is comfortable for you. I know some people like to sit in the lotus position with their legs crossed. I haven't done that since I was a child, so that's not happening for me. But I like to feel my back up against the chair. I like these chairs. They have a nice wide base, and they're sturdy. I don't feel like I'm going to slip or fall or anything's going to happen. I feel very safe and secure. And so that's an important component of getting your body centered in there, is that you feel protected and grounded and supported by the furniture that you're on. So, like I said, a lot of people prefer to do it on the floor. That's fine too. But just make sure that, your space around you is conducive to the meditation. And so, again, we just kind of notice it, become aware of it. You might, at this moment, feel where your body is connected to the chair. And just become aware of what that sensation is on your back, on your legs. Maybe notice your feet as they're touching the floor. Notice what you're doing with your arms. So you can have your arms, I like my arms in my lap like this. You can put your hands on your knees like so, just whatever is comfortable for you. A lot of people prefer to use one of the mudras, they're called, which is a purposeful holding of your fingers. This happens to be the third eye mudra. And a lot of people will do that to help them center, kind of point to focus on is what that is. So whatever works for you. I just usually leave my hands lying loosely in my lap. This way my shoulders are supported. They're not drooping too much. If I had my arms down, that would put tension on there. So just getting myself in a place that feels comfortable, feels supported, but doesn't distract me from it. Okay, so let's just go ahead and close our eyes. Just take in that nice deep breath. And actually kind of notice how the breath moves through your body. Comes in your nostrils, moves down the back of your neck, into your chest, causing an expansion and contraction of your torso. And you can even begin to visualize that breath being carried out to the rest of your body. We know that the red blood cells pick up those oxygen molecules and then they distribute them throughout the body. So just think of that as breathing in to the various body parts. And just let your breath become natural, find its own pace, its own rhythm that feels right for you. And to center us in our bodies, we're going to do what's called a body scan. And we're just going to start with our head. Just bringing our awareness to our head. Notice if there's any sensations, any area of the head that might be calling your attention to it. If you notice anything, just imagine the breath moving to that part of the body, that place in your head. And let the breath just relax that area. And then bring your attention down to your neck. Gently move it. Notice how your neck connects to the back of your head, to the top of your shoulders. We often hold stress and tension in our neck, so just notice if you're feeling any of that and breathe into that area. Consciously allowing the breath to relax it. And then move your awareness down to your shoulders. All the way across from one shoulder to the other. Notice what's happening in the back of your shoulders, between your shoulder blades. And the front of your body around your collarbones. Your sternum where they connects to your rib cage. Notice the muscles around that. If anything is calling your awareness to it, just simply breathe into it, purposefully allowing it to relax. And now move your awareness to your upper arms, first one and then the other. Notice how the arm connects to the shoulder, to your elbow. Just notice if there's anything that is causing you to bring your awareness to it. And simply breathe into that space. Now bring your attention to your forearms. First one and then the other. Notice any sensations. Just acknowledge them. Breathe into them. Allow it to relax. And then move your awareness into your hands. You might be called to gently move your fingers. You might even want to create a little tension in the hands by making a fist and releasing it. Feeling the change of sensations as you do that. And now bring your awareness to your chest. Notice the breath moving your chest up and down. Check in on the front and on the back, the upper spine, all around your rib cage. Just become aware of any sensations that you feel in your upper body. Now bring your awareness to your abdomen, all of those internal organs, the upper and the lower parts of your abdominal cavity, the muscles that protect and contain all of those organs. You may feel some movement in your intestines or your stomach. You might even hear noises. Just acknowledge anything that's happening in that area of your body. Now bring your awareness to your pelvic area, to your sacrum that connects both sides of the pelvis, to the hip joints, to your tailbone. Just notice any sensations you have there. Breathe into them. Consciously allow that to release. check in with your upper thighs, your hip joints, to your knee joint. Notice if there are any sensations on the outer side of your thighs versus the inner side, the back or the front. These are some of the largest bones and muscles in our body. So just spend a moment acknowledging all of the work they do, how they support our bodies throughout the day, how they allow us to move. Then check in with your knees. What a miraculous thing our knees and elbows are. Imagine life without them. They take a lot of wear and tear, so just spend a moment acknowledging that. Notice if there's any sensations there that need your attention. And just breathe into them. Your awareness down to your calves, to your shin bones. Notice what's happening there. Finally, move your awareness down to your ankles and your feet. All those little bones and joints and nerve endings tell us so much about our world around us. Notice any feelings that you have in your feet or your ankles. You may want to move them gently. Wiggle your toes. Before we leave our bodies, just take a moment in gratitude. Gratitude for the miracle of this fleshy suit that we get to wear and do all the wonderful things that we've done in our lives and all those things that we've yet to do. All made possible by the miracle of this body. Just feel your breath moving through it. Rising up. Filled with gratitude. When you feel complete, just take in a nice deep breath and release it, and gently open your eyes. So how was that experience for you? Did you find it easy to move through your body and release those things, or was it still hanging on?
Easier.
Easier?
Easier, and I have to say that sitting in a circle in person with people meditating is really beneficial to me. It works way better than being on, watching a screen.
I would agree with that. That's one of the things I've missed is being able to do spiritual practice in community. It's so much nicer to be, I don't know, that things are just different. I open my eyes and the room looks different after I've meditated.
It's kind of vibrating.
Yeah, and it's brighter, but not like harsh bright. It's just like more of a glow about it. I feel different. I think doing spiritual practice as a community is one of the most powerful things we can do.
I agree with that. When Scott Thompson was doing meditations before Wednesday service, that it was, it was a must go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I really miss that, so I'm really glad that one of these, we have a Wednesday that's devoted to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to do one more meditation here. This is just a guided meditation. Oftentimes in guided meditations, we kind of visualize different areas, different things that bring us comfort, or sometimes the guided meditation is very directive, and the person tells you exactly where you need to go and what to see around there. I personally like to find my own safe space, my own sacred place. And so in this guided meditation, I'm going to invite you to do that, to find a place that is meaningful to you, a place that is a peaceful place, calm place. Most often for me, I find this is out in nature somewhere, generally someplace I've been. Actually, most often I go to the Redwood Forest in Northern California in a place called Avenue of the Giants, where I had an experience there. And that to me is just like a very tranquil place. But oftentimes I also go to the ocean, or up in the woods, nice quiet place in the woods, something that is meaningful to you. Maybe you have been somewhere on a vacation and got to sit on a porch and look out at a beautiful vista that brings you serenity. So I'm going to invite you to find that place. And don't be surprised as we're going through the meditation that you might have an idea of what that place is right now. But then we get into the meditation and that's not exactly where you want to go. So that's okay too. So we're going to go through a little bit of a guided meditation just to experience that. And I'm one that I don't usually write my meditations down. So we're going to see where it takes us. All right? I love to play, so here we go. We're going to play together. So we're going to just begin again by taking a couple of conscious breaths. And just notice the chair beneath you. Know that right here and right now you are fully supported, fully grounded. And together we're going on a journey. A journey to our most sacred place. That place where we actually feel our connection with Source. with that universal intelligence, with that all-pervading presence. So just begin to allow your consciousness to move through different places you've been, or different places you've seen, that you've not yet been to, but you know they exist. Until you're sure of that place that you are in, that this is the place for you at this moment. So just let yourself find that place right here and right now. And as you find it, begin to notice everything about it. If it is outdoors, notice the things that you see, the plant life, the land formations. Structures or buildings. Notice the sky in this place. Notice the colors. Are there sounds around you? Do you hear the air moving? The water running? The leaves rustling? If you are indoors, what are you seeing? What kind of a structure are you in? What other things occupy this space? Just spend a few moments being in your sanctuary, noticing everything about it. Now, as you rest in your special place, see if there's one thing that is drawing your attention more than others. It could be an object, it could be something alive. There's something in this space that stands out to you more than others. Just bring your awareness to that. Oftentimes these elements that stand out in our sanctuaries in our mind have something to tell us. And so as you sit with this object or this creature, simply ask it, is there anything I need to know? And just listen. Now as we prepare to leave this sanctuary in our mind, just take a moment and express gratitude. Gratitude for anything that you've discovered, anything that's been revealed, or simply gratitude for the peaceful feeling you've experienced in this sanctuary in your mind. When you feel complete, just take in a nice deep breath or two and open your eyes. Thank you all for being here. All right. Thank you.